Welcome back. It's Protege Bowden speaking. Got my man Ron the Don, special guest.
Yo,
Go ahead, let them know. Introduce yourself, man.
you already know what it is, man. I'll get my 2 cents in at some point.
I got you. Yep, along with my esteemed colleague, Ed Slime.
Slime.
There we go. All right. So, people, the topic of tonight's discussion is what are your biggest fears in life? You know what I mean? It's something, it could be anything. You know what I mean? Everybody's scared of something. You know what I mean? Like, it could be just one thing that you never want to experience, or it could be something you experience that just haunts you. You know what I mean? So, that's what we're going to discuss today. So, my question is directed at Slime. You know what I mean?
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? XM Radio, you hear us right here, right? What's going on, American people? How you doing? What's up? What you got for me?
Slime, man. Me and you both, we've known each other for years, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even think I know what your greatest fears are, in life, So if you want to shed some light on that, man.
Of course. For the people out there, I've known you for half my life. Over half my life.
Right.
As of right now. Probably a few days over half my life.
Right.
And that's respectful just for people to know. And for you to say like, oh, you don't know what my greatest fears is, that's probably good for me, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people who are different. And like, as you said, everyone's scared of something. Everyone's really worried about something. And then if you try to take your worries and try to say that, oh, I'm just worried about it, it's not really a fear, then you're lying to yourself. So like for me personally, there's quite a few things I can fit into that category. Oh, but what am I scared of? Especially what am I scared of today?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I wake up knowing that I'm going to fucking like have a small fear of? Excuse my language, but I'm gonna curse a little bit today, people. What am I really scared of today? In 2017, at the end of April, and now I'm approaching the summertime. What the hell are we scared of right now? And me personally, I can say one of my greatest fears is I have an 8-year-old daughter. All right, so like now this changes the market just a little bit. Cause now I'm talking about a child of mine, and then we all fear for our child. You know what I'm saying, or children.
Correct.
And I feel like now, as my daughter's entering a state that where she wants to be in theater, she wants to be into a collected.
Basically, the performing arts setting.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I'm trying to use any more words that I can't really put together because I don't got it like that. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all hear what I'm saying? It's a performing arts setting that she wants to be placed in, and I know me being a performing arts person, never been in performing arts, but I love music. I've been around people that have went into acting school and knew exactly what the pyramid scheme per se may be on if she gets involved in something like that. And then you were at the crib, Protege, the other day when my daughter was really boasting about her audition that she was going to have with the Disney Channel.
Yes.
And she loved it. That's all she talked about for months. Was getting to this audition. And because all she wants to do is be on TV. And now we all know and remember Full House. And we remember the Olsen twins. And we remember a lot of our childhood TV shows and our TV stars that we just loved and grown to just admire.
Right.
You know what I mean? You think their parents weren't worried about what was going on
with
them? And then how you think the Olsen twins' mom was going to be like, oh yeah, my daughters are going to be okay. Full House is an amazing hit. They've been on TV
Their whole lives.
since before people had to change their diaper backstage.
No, they did since 1987, actually.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I fear every day that my daughter will get an amazing shot and be introduced into a life like that, where I pretty much might get pushed out of my position as a father by some manager who really talks really slicker than me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And can really control a lot of the situations and the dollar signs and making sure that the funds are all right correctly and making sure that her funds will be correctly managed and put into the right places better than I can, because he can talk a little bit better and his education is a little bit more stronger than mine. You know what I'm saying? And his use of words may be more collected than mine at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then look at my daughter's face, and I might be so ready to tell her, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. This is not happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2 weeks before she could even go to the set and be start ready to really do her show.
Mm-hmm.
Because she is going to get accepted. They are going to like her audition.
Agreed.
And I don't know if I'm ready to deal with someone that really won't fucking deal with me being scared and fearing for the rest of her life.
Right, as far as her career is concerned.
Biggest fear of mine.
Right.
As of today.
Okay.
As of right now.
I hear you. I mean, I feel like being a parent and all, that's tough within itself. You gotta watch, her grow up and start making decisions. That's scary. You know what I mean? And her being 8 years old, she's not old enough to actually make those kinds of decisions as far as like where her career is headed. She's definitely a colorful and vibrant kid. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I have to agree with that one.
You're a godfather. You better know that.
That's right. Yep.
Right.
For the people who didn't know that, yep, I sure am. Cat's out the bag.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I wasn't gonna say that for episode 79.
So it's good. I'm not Don Corleone, but I am the Godfather, though. All right. So just let all y'all know that, ladies and gentlemen.
But that's definitely one of my fears as of today.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the most things I'm scared of as of right now, as of today.
Right.
As of today.
I hear you. Absolutely. I mean, it's tough, man. My next question, it's actually the same question. My man, Ron and Don, special guest, like I said.
Don.
Queens in the building.
Q Burrow.
There you go.
Let's start this off pretty positive. Slime, what's your daughter's name? Because if you're trying to get her out there, I think you should broadcast it.
Let's do it. My daughter's name is Brazeus Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
She's 8.5 years old, and she is very colorful and talented. She's excelled in every program she's ever been in, everything from gymnastics to cheerleading. And she got a mean kickball kick too. So if you want to kickball with her, you better watch out. Somebody better cover third base.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, because we plan on getting, our own channel, right? That's the plan, right?
That's right, yeah.
So we need to get her out there, get exposure and whatnot. But, to keep this as positive as possible and as unbiased as possible.
Okay.
Everyone that knows me knows how I am, and I'm extremely, I guess you could say, outspoken.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to keep it as, as general as possible. But, me personally, my greatest fear is failure itself. And that's the driving force of what made me who I am and, drives my success. Because at any point in time, at any point in the day, I just look back like, what, I don't want to be, excuse my language, that bum ass nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't want anybody viewing me that way. Whether it be strangers in the street, because it's all about perception. Strangers in the street, family, friends. Because at any point in time, there are always people looking at you, but it's people that you do know as well as people that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes are always on you. So that's something that I hold very dear because I'm gonna be 30 this year.
Right.
Not getting getting up there. The big third
3-0.
decade.
Ooh.
Exactly, getting up there. But I have to say that where I'm at in life right now is very, very, very prosperous, and I'm very appreciative of that. And it's because of that. My greatest fear, driving to make sure it doesn't become reality. Now, in regard to the world itself, honestly, I don't know if a lot of people are going to agree with me, but I think people fear commitment itself.
Okay.
And that's commitment to anything.
Commitment to anything? Okay, I was going to ask that.
Commitment to a partner.
Mm-hmm.
A commitment to their goals. Commitment to a job. Commitment to family. Commitment to themselves.
Yeah.
It could go full circle. You could take that any which way you want to take it. You know what I mean? But I think that's the major problem.
Mm-hmm.
People, they start something, they never want to finish it.
Right.
They want it now. They want to put the work forward, to actually get to the end goal, to see that light at the end of the tunnel. It could be one of numerous amount of things, upbringing, environment, the generation they grew up in, the age of technology that we live in now. It could be one of a million things, but that's honestly how I feel. You know, some people may agree, some people may
Do
disagree.
you feel the Don? You know, I think. Hey, do you feel that a lot of this a lot of parts of this single fear that you believe is one of your greatest? Is that like inherited? Is it like brought on? Is it like something that's instilled in you that you cannot even let go? Like that it's like a fear of even letting commitment be an issue for me to
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you feel maybe is there like another source that but besides yourself
Mm-hmm.
that causes it to be your one of your biggest fears?
Mm-hmm.
Is there another source of it,
I
or
mean,
is it just basically just you feeling like, okay, I'm not going to be that bum ass nigga?
that's basically it. I know, but I know it has other. There's always other external variables. You know what I mean? Like I seen my parents. They worked hard, as you can see. You know, they've worked.
Yeah.
They worked hard their entire lives. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's kind of like you don't want to let them down because they work so hard. They set the bar somewhere. You know, and I think that's something. I mean, I know this is a little off topic.
No.
Something that black people should do for their families and bringing up their kids. Set the bar somewhere so that they can at least hit it, maintain that, or get above it, and
Mm-hmm.
push them to get above it. You know, my parents they set the bar
Yeah.
rather high. You know what I mean? So I felt I am a Virgo. You know, we're very analytical. We're Earth signs. You know what I mean? We have very firm foundations. You know,
Slime. Virgo too.
you know, but that can help us as much as it can hurt us, and I've learned that over the years through self-reflection. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's still at the individual base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just something I feel myself growing up. You know, I took that and I was just like, you know what, I can't be a failure. There's no shot at that. But then looking at my parents, I was like, no, I can't have my family looking at me like that.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for a suitable partner, a compatible partner, I can't have her looking at me like, look at this dude, man.
Yeah.
Let me leave this dude behind, man.
Yep.
Right.
Even though I'm still single, but still, you know, it
Uh-huh.
is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You heard that, ladies.
remember that name, be the Don.
That's
you
right.
know?
That's right.
Don't
That's
mind
right.
the Don part though.
Yeah, but
John, how you feel about that? I know that we live parallel lifestyles, and you know we see, you know, things often
mm-hmm.
very similar. But how do you feel about it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, as far as like what you said, that was actually similar to one of my fears. I mean, I always had like a fear of just not being able to succeed, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like my actually, it's a little more than that too. Like, you know, I'm actually the oldest son in my family. You know what I mean? So it's like I gotta set the bar and I gotta set the example for my, you know, my little brothers that's coming up. You know what I mean? So I gotta be a positive role model for them. You know what I mean?
Of
So
course.
I felt like I did. You know, at first, you know, it was kind of rocky living in the household that you know, I talked about in the previous episode, but you know, things ended up working out. I ended up making good decisions, you know, obviously along the way. But you know, after a while, you know, it was just time for me to wake up. Like, yo, man, I don't like I said, you know, I don't want to be no bum out here. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go out here and get mine. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, I find myself to be very successful now. You know what I'm saying? So I actually turned my fear into a strength. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm good now. You know what I mean? So whatever I do, I know I'm gonna do to my, you know, up to my best potential. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like whatever career path I ever take, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm pretty much settled now, but you know, things seem to be going well. Uh, you know, like I said, I had to set an example for my little brothers and sisters coming up. You know what I mean? So you know, I would have talks with my mother about, you're doing good, you're doing, real well. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? You came a long way. You know, and that makes me feel good to hear them say that. You know, after the relationship we went through when I was a teenager living in their household. You know, so you know, it was drastic change. You know what I mean? You know, I graduated from high school. You know what I'm saying? I was the first brother to do that. You know, went to college. You know, joined the military. You know, and I exceeded in everything that I have done so far. You know, of course I couldn't do it without the man upstairs though. God give him his props for
Put
that.
you on the path.
Yep, absolutely. So, you know, without him, you know, I pretty much wouldn't be where I'm at today. You know, like I said, Protege had to learn from somebody. So I haven't actually disclosed where I learned my talents from. I actually learned certain things from my pops, okay, my biological dad, and also my stepdad. I actually share both traits from both of those men. So I thank both of them for that. You know, like I actually fear being broke. I think that's one of my biggest fears. Like just bankruptcy. You know what I mean? Just not having two fucking nickels to rub together. You know what I'm saying? Like I've lived that somewhat close before. You know what I'm saying? Where I was on my own in my early 20s. You know, family had moved away, and I just felt like I had to be a man and just not follow them. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, man, I'm just gonna do what I do. I'm gonna get, you know, I'm gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? And I did make it. You know what I mean? So
of course you did.
Yep, absolutely. So
Protege.
Protege.
That's right. You know. So I made it. I'm doing good. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about nothing. Roof over my head. You know what I mean? Got food, a pot to piss in, all of that. You know what I mean? So I don't ever have to worry about going back there because I know what it was like being there. You know what I'm saying? So back in 2011, you know, that was actually a horrible year for me. You know what I'm saying? I was living in the hood. I had lost my house that I was living in. Me and my pops had lived in. The freaking house got broken into, burned down, all of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was bad. It was a bad time. So you know, I had to find somewhere to stay. Luckily, my parents were still in the state for me to go live with them temporarily until I found my own spot. I was lucky with that. You know what I mean? Because they was already heading out the door as far as like moving away, heading down to Florida, you know, and you know, basically living out the rest of their retirement down there.
Right.
You know, so I had to make moves, and I had to make moves quick. You know, so.
Oh well, that's that incorporates that incorporates a lot of fear tactics. Per se, there's a lot of ways that you learn how to shift around your fear. Not wanting to be broke. Don't want people to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen to me after this? You know what I mean? The house got broken into. You know, got set on fire. Shit. Where do I go from here on out? You know what I'm saying? Where else is a lot of the essential needs that I will need to come forward? You know, like to get above. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is that going to happen? And then one thing I was scared of in the Army, because I spent 8 years in the United States Army, you know what I'm saying, when the 3rd Infantry Division, shout out to Dollface.
Shout out to the U.S. Army.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I deployed 4 times. So one of the things that I was scared of the most, Don, was being scared. Period.
Was it being scared deploying or
no? Just being scared of anything, having a fear of anything. I hate mosquitoes.
Right.
Almost to the point where I could possibly fear them. If it's a group of them, I gotta move away from y'all.
I'm out.
I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm out of here. To the point where like, it's something so small and minute where it's like, okay, you know what? It could be a group of mosquitoes out there, and then you know it'd be 3 weeks before we deploy. Like, you know, I'm gonna sit here with you effing mosquitoes. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna smoke my cigarette, and then if y'all want this smoke, y'all can come over here and get this. You know?
Right.
But then it's a bad decision either way because you go inside and you got mad mosquito bites. But you know, it's about being scared itself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was probably the largest fear I've ever felt. Was wondering if I was going to be scared when the helicopter touches the ground. You know what I'm saying? And we all run off while the relieving unit runs on to the aircraft.
Correct.
Am I going to be scared right then or there? And then a lot of our young brothers out here are running around wondering what to be scared of. They don't know. They don't think it's all right to even be scared of anything.
Gotta feel.
But you have to have you have to have a human reaction to some kind of fear to something to have an emotional balance on what you plan on being and whatever you want to be in life, because you have to know who you are and where you stand on with your emotional balance. So if you fear something, that lets you know that you are still human. You are not computed as a computer. You are not the like button on your Facebook. You are not any kind of removal from any kind of deleting of a picture. You are going to be here.
Correct.
So what are you scared of?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of these guys think like, you know what? Oh man, if I can't be acting like this because my man's ain't gonna feel for me the same way. That's not your man's in them then.
Right. That's
Because
true.
he's scared of more shit than you are, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So fear itself sometimes draws a lot of character
Mm-hmm.
from a person who doesn't even know if that's acceptable to themselves. Now. My mind's demented sometimes, and it may sound a little crazy when I say it, but fear itself is one of the greatest fears of a person.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people just hate being scared of something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And me personally, personally, that's something that I'm really scared of. Is being scared of some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Being scared of my girl leaving me. Being scared of my daughter not making this thing right. Being scared of my mother not making it through this sickness that she's going through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being scared of how my best friend that I've known for over half of my life, is he going to make it through this struggle that he's going through right now? You know what I'm saying? Why am I scared of this kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like being scared of shit.
Right. I think we all.
Fear itself sometimes is like the biggest fear ever.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give a shout out real quick to my man Kyle Wolf, one of the brothers in
Kyle.
Bloom on my job. He lost his dad a couple days ago to cancer. You know,
Mhm.
just want to give him a shout out.
Shout out to Kyle Wolf and his pops.
Yep.
And his family.
Yeah, rest in peace to Kyle Wolf's dad. You know, my condolences, homie. You know, I know that was probably scary too, man. Knowing, finding out that news that that your father wasn't gonna be on this earth much longer. You know.
I mean, it's reality,
Mhm.
because the first time I seen that man emotional was when he got that phone call. I mean, I've known that man for years. We met back in 2010 back in tech school.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
he's always been happy-go-lucky. Always smiling, laughing, joking.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves him type dude. And the first time, I mean, I was flattered that he was able to open up that way to me
Mm-hmm.
for the
Felt
first
that way
time.
about you.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody talks about these racist boundaries. The man's white. I'm black.
Right.
You know what I mean? It didn't
Yeah.
matter. That's my brother regardless. He lives the parallel lifestyle as well.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know.
Yeah, I know.
We both work for the state and federal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but yeah, that is definitely a fear that I don't think any one of us sitting here or anyone listening wants to deal with. But
Mm-hmm.
Coming back full cycle, I got something else to throw at y'all real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Don.
Hit me with it.
You know, in regard to fear itself, I see this a lot, and I think we all want it, and I think we all can attest to having the fear of acknowledgement. Basically, doing something and being acknowledged for it. You can take it on the basis of relationships, yes, but I'm thinking more on the terms of your own parents, immediate family.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Especially us as men. You want your dad to look down on you, and you get that respect. The respect from your dad is more than any other
Anything.
thing on the planet.
Anything.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
As men, especially
Exactly.
as black men.
And
Not
once-
saying that it's different for anybody else, but I only know how to be a black person. So I wish when we get our dial-in line, I'm telling you guys, we get our dial-in line. We're gonna take these calls from you people, but go ahead.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
feel you 100%.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But I know it's something, that acknowledgement from anyone's pops is just like, it's golden. It's like, you're going to be all right once you get that acknowledgement. I know that for me, I'm the youngest of my siblings of 5 or whatever. And, we all have had our own paths in life, Oldest brother, shout out to him. Hopefully he stays safe, especially with the way the world is looking right now.
Right. Right. Definitely.
Shout out big bro or whatever. But I know for me, I'm 29 now, and it took probably 25 plus years for me to actually get the words that he was just like, I don't say it to you enough, but I'm proud of you. I respect what you're doing. I look at my life and see how you're living yours. It's kind of running down the same path, and I know what that did for me, because I always felt like there was that rift, that void. Because I know growing up, he always was working. Grinding. My mom. I was around my mom mostly growing up because my dad was at work. Not to say my mom didn't work, but her schedule was more conducive to us growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was tailored to you guys at home.
Yeah.
Which I think it benefited us because now we are feminists in a sense. We know how a woman is or whatever the case is.
And that's not a bad thing.
Oh, of course not. even though I'm still single. You know what I mean?
That's by choice, homie.
That's another episode.
Okay.
That's something that all three of us can sit down later and discuss.
Have a drink over
on
that.
a later,
you know?
on a later episode. We're gonna talk about that on a later episode. Trust me.
Most definitely, you know.
Yeah.
But I know that, you know, when I heard those words from my pops, I was just like, okay, cool. It's about time. I felt like I've been doing good, but to hear that, like, you know, I'm proud of you, whatever the case is, I'm just like, yes. You know what I mean? And we're able to. I know we didn't really have a relationship growing up because he was always working or whatever. But now, you know, like, you know, we got our cars, we roll out, go to car shows, stuff like that. Seeing them laughing, joking, smiling, you know. So I'm hoping that everyone can attest to that, you know, and actually admit it, because it's just like people like to walk around, like you said, Slime, you know, like they fear nothing. You know, I mean, we all grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? You got
what's up?
everybody swear they're not scared of nothing. You know what I mean? But
you're scared to come to the hood.
For you people that don't live there, that's the place where when you're in the car with your coworker and your coworker wants to get off here and you say no, I'm not getting off there. I mean, it's really that kind of stuff. I mean, you guys know there's a Dunkin' Donuts on the hood. You know what I mean? You're just not going to that one,
Right,
Susan.
right.
I get it.
Oh,
and
no.
Susan, it's a universal name. It could be black or white. I'm saying Susan.
Exactly.
Right? You know.
Exactly.
White.
Jamaica
right.
Queens, Farmers
You know what I'm
111.
That's right. That's right.
You already know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry from Queens. I can't tell you exactly what street.
It's all good.
I
It's
shouldn't
all
say that
good.
on the air. I have to edit that out. Curse me out. You was there.
No, that's all right. That's right. You ain't say the sections. You good, all right? So you good.
She from Jamaica, though. Jamaica,
Man.
Is that in Jamaica? Where you from? Oh, man.
Come on, man.
All right. Well, babe, you know where that's at.
Born, raised, and nurtured, Queens,
That's
man.
right. That's right.
You know, never forget your roots. But I mean,
Yeah.
I hope that people, you know, they listen to these words and, you know, readily admit these things to themselves and to others.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you gotta be honest with yourself first, and actually face your fears to get past them.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely.
And some of my closing words I would like to say,
Mm-hmm.
when we're talking about a subject of fear, man, and we're asking grown men out there and grown women to really identify what your fear is, and we all heard the saying since we were kids: you have to face your fears.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know what that fear is, you have to identify it. And once you identify it, then you know you have done a brave thing by standing up to yourself and identifying what your fear is, and that's bravery
Mm-hmm.
amongst itself. So once you recognize that, then especially my young people out there, man, black, white, brown, Asian, man, we are on the verge of losing our young generation out there. So you know what I mean, identify what you may be scared of, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could be able to stand up to anything.
Yeah, it's not. You know, for the people out there, it's not a sign of weakness to basically have fear about something. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the youth today is scared of being labeled as weak. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, they don't, you know, they run, you know, they're basically out here running around thinking they tough and all this. But listen, homie, you ain't invincible. I ain't Superman, and neither you. You know what I mean? So we all got something, you know, that we are scared of, you know. So it could be, you know, it could be a physical thing, you know, emotional thing. It's something that, you know, that it's in the back of your mind that's holding you back from, like, oh man, I don't know if I could face this today.
If I could do this.
Yeah,
today.
you know.
Wake up out of bed like, oh, I don't know. I don't
You
even
know?
know if this is going to work out.
Exactly.
But
Exactly. You know. But
diminish those fears.
yeah, absolutely. You know, facing them is, you know, that's a strength. You know what I'm saying? It's courage. You know, as we talked about. But you know, I kind of want to close it out. You know, we're a little short on time. You know, I thought this was a good episode. You know, what are your fears? So
I dig it. I mess with my son Bond. Bond is dumb. He is
That's
so
right.
nice with it.
I'm
My
telling
man's
you.
intellectual. I don't
That's
know.
right.
I don't know if I'm talking to Protege or talking to Bond. I'm sitting in the middle, America,
That's right.
and I'm getting it from both sides. I'm like,
well, you
yo,
gotta
look,
remember.
like-
You gotta remember. You getting it from two intellectual guys
I love it.
who both wear glasses.
I
All
love
right.
it. And we ain't
You know?
scared of y'all. I'll tell you that. There's one fear we don't got. XM, what's up?
That's what's up. Oh no, we ain't scared of them. You know what I mean? Not at all. You know what I mean? We actually trying to reach out to them. You know what I mean? And shoot, they gonna take advice from us.
No, they gonna like it.
You know what I mean?
As long as
That's
you
it.
cut the check.
Well, listen, people,
Money cash.
it was good. You know, got Slime.
Slime.
You know, my man Verona Don.
Vita Don in the building.
That's right, man. All right. Thanks for everything. It's me,
Peace.
P, signing off.